Come on in, guys. Are you ready to get to this week's challenge? This week, we'll be focusing on assessing for learning. Obviously, you have some various tasks to do for that, but when we talk about assessing for learning, we're really thinking about how can you use different types of assessments to understand what your students know or don't know and do that all via Schoology. So we're going to focus on our assessment process, the things we think about, what do our students need to know, what do we think they already know, who are our struggling learners in the class. All the questions we should really ask ourselves in a typical classroom should also be asked in a digital environment. So in our reward challenge for this week, you will be thinking about assessing for learning as a collective whole and think about what different ways that you already assess for learning. So are you a quiz person? Are your students taking a lot of are doing a lot of papers? What is it, or what ways are you ensuring that your students have mastered content, or is it all just via the tests at the end? So you'll be completing a reward challenge. They'll ask you to do a Venn diagram. And then the other part of the assessing for learning, you will get an opportunity to look at mastery reporting. And mastery reporting is a really powerful tool within Schoology that allows us to link standards to things such as quizzes, discussions, assignments. You can even link them to pages. I'm not sure necessarily why you would entirely do that, but you can. But by doing this, you are able to track students' progress towards mastery of a particular standard. And having this data is invaluable when we're looking at, do we need to reteach? Can we provide some enrichment activities? What sort of things do I need to do? Maybe promoting some small group activities within my classroom as a result of the data I'm receiving. So mastery reporting is going to be relatively new for some of you, and I really encourage you to dive into that topic and see if that's something you can start using even on a small scale if it's simply just with your quizzes. And then in the reward challenge for this week, what you'll be doing is essentially, or I'm sorry, not the reward challenge, the immunity challenge, what you'll essentially be doing is creating a new assessment for learning. So you're going to look at your course and the types of assignments and the types of assessments you're already doing and create something that's new, keeping in mind some of these principles. So something that's going to really get you the data you need. When we look at students, for example, in English, reading To Kill a Mockingbird, we often give a test at the end that assesses their comprehension on To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, if I just spent the past 6 weeks discussing To Kill a Mockingbird in class with my students, they better have a pretty good understanding of it. And therefore, I'm not sure I'm assessing their actual learning or their ability to listen in class. And that's really a debate and something to think about as you're creating your assessments. But what you're going to do for this task is you are going to design that assessment, take a screenshot of it, and you're actually going to use a Google slide in order to share your learning. So this week, we're not only focusing on a new way to assess, but here's another powerful assessment tool, which is a collaboration via Google presentation. It's very easy for you to embed these in your own Schoology courses and instead have all your students collaborate on one Google slide to showcase some learning or something that you want to about a particular topic. So let's get to this week's challenge.